Is the original Yi action camera the best budget action camera on the market today? Let's find out. What's up, everybody? I'm the Everyday Dad. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. Today we're talking about my newest budget action camera, the original Yi. But we can't do an action camera test here. To the trails! So what do you get when you buy the Yi action camera? Well, I bought the full kit of the camera, which comes with the camera, the Bluetooth controller, and the Yi selfie stick. This cost me $79. You can also purchase the camera by itself for about $59. For the price, the camera feels amazing. It is roughly the same price as the DJI i60e we spoke about a couple weeks ago, but feels so much better. When compared to the Yi Lite, I like the textured feeling of the original over the smoothness of the Yi Lite. The Yi Lite's smoothness kind of makes it feel cheaper, whereas this texturing makes this camera feel great. But on to the pillars of action! These are the aspects of a camera that you need to meet for me to consider you a true action camera. Ease of use. Now, there are only 3 buttons on this camera, so it is, by definition, very easy to use. You can only turn it on, start recording, and you can turn on the Wi-Fi. That's it. That is about as easy to use as you can get in a camera. Now, if you do want to change any of the settings, you will need to connect it to the included Yi Action app. The app is pretty easy to use and the connection works very well. I would rather a camera not have a screen and be easier to use than put a screen on it and make it more complicated, like the DJI i60e. It had a screen, but it was much harder to use. Number 2, I wanted to work with my GoPro accessories. GoPro owns the world of action camera accessories, period. There is no other standard out there, and anybody that thinks there is, well, there's not. So the original Yi action camera is shaped almost exactly like the original GoPro Heroes, so it will absolutely work with most GoPro accessories. It also has a normal tripod mount on the bottom, so with a quick adapter, it will work with every single GoPro mount. Now, it is lighter than normal action cameras and it is much lighter than the current generation of GoPro Hero 5s and Hero 6s, so it will take some finagling to work, but you can absolutely get it to work with a gimbal such as my Feiyutech G5. 3. Decent image quality. Most cheap action cameras use the same crappy sensors and all of their footage looks pretty bad. But the Ambarella A7 LS chipset and the Sony sensor inside of the Yi action camera make it a very, very potent 1080p action camera. And for the price of the camera, the footage looks amazing. I'm seriously impressed with how great the image quality is that comes out of this camera. Number 4, durability. Now, the biggest negative that I personally have with the Yi action camera is the same one I have with all the Yi cameras I've checked out so far. Yi does not come with any case. The base model Yis do not come with cases. So, unfortunately, it is not a durable camera out of the box. So it can be more durable, but this one does not feel very durable, and the doors to the battery memory compartment and the SD compartment feel super flimsy, and I'm definitely gonna lose them. I already lost the one for the SD card compartment. I had to search for like 5 minutes on the ground to find it because it falls off, and it's very flimsy and cheap, so it does take a hit in the durability department. Number 5, some kind of built-in stabilization. Now, that is unfair to ask a $59 action camera to have good stabilization, and for this price point, I don't expect much when it comes to stabilization, and the Yi action camera does not have any stabilization, period. And this is an audio test of the Yi action camera. You can definitely see that it is a wider angle, probably the widest angle I've ever used in the office. But the audio test, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, hopefully, if you remember my DJI i60e audio test video, the audio was in no way or shape synced up with the actual image. So hopefully, we're all synced up right now. The remaining important specs for the average user are: the lens is a 16 megapixel CMOS f2.8 155 degree wide angle. It can take micro SD cards up to 64 gigabytes. It can film in 1080p 60, 48, 30, and 24 frames per second. If you do want a slow motion 120 frames per second, it can do that, albeit in 720p. And it should get roughly 90 minutes of battery life running at 1080p, 60 frames per second. So should you get the original Yi action camera? Now, I really like this camera. However, I do not think you should get the Yi action camera. I think you should save up and get the Yi Lite. The Yi Lite for like 20 bucks more has so much more potential out of it than the Yi that you absolutely should get this. It's got an easy to use touchscreen on the back. It's got electronic image stabilization. The audio is really good. And sometimes you'll be able to find this on sale for almost the same price as the Yi action camera. So if you only can spend the amount of money that this costs, which for me, it was $79 for the entire kit, including the selfie stick, then yeah, get this. This is the best I've seen in this price range. But if you can spend just a couple of bucks more, like 20 bucks more, the Yi Lite will give you so much more capability. Will I be keeping the Yi action camera? I'm absolutely going to be keeping this camera. It's always nice to have a 1080p 60 frames per second camera hanging around. And I've just been impressed by this a lot. I already have all the action cameras I could ever want or need, but it's always nice to have just kind of like an extra one when you're trying to get another angle, and you're not as worried if it breaks, because if it breaks, it costs like, this is what, like a sixth of a GoPro. And so if I don't want to endanger the $500 GoPro, then I will endanger the $50 Yi action camera. Well, hey everybody, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button down below. We do cheapest tech reviews every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Well, hey, I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure out that a 3-button action camera, seriously, there's only 3 buttons. If I can figure out that 3-button action cameras are really actually pretty good, especially when it's the Yi, you can figure it out. Thanks for watching.